Hello, we're sisters like Angel.
And AllyCat, where we highlight individuals making a difference in our community. Yes. So back to
Yes,
you, Angel.
yes. And today we have a guest, which is Katherine Bay. You're going to hear her life story from the Philippines to coming here and about being a mom in the United States and plus her life with acting both in the Philippines and here. I'm Angel Qinan. I'm an actress and I'm a registered nurse. And Ally?
And my name is AllyCat Castle. I'm a professional makeup artist for the media news. And I'm also a content creator for YouTube. And my other channel is AllyCat Castle, where I teach makeup tutorials, funny makeup tutorials. And our very special guest for this evening is no other than, of course, someone who's very dear to my heart, someone very close to me. She's the queen of DMV, DC, Maryland, and Virginia. She is an account receivable specialist during the day, and she's also a very successful freelance actress at the Katherine Bay.
Katherine Bay, welcome.
Hello, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. I love the Christmas tree. Oh my God. It's so
Giving you guys some Christmas vibes.
Do you have parol at home?
I wish we do, but we don't. You know, parol, if you're going to buy it here in America, it's actually very expensive. I think it's like $200.
Oh my God, the kapis-kapis.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So without further ado, let's begin our holiday season, of course. So tell us, Ate Katherine,
Yes.
as a Filipino-American, tell us about your childhood and where you grew up.
Where I grew up. So I grew up in Manila, Philippines, specifically in Quezon City. And I actually graduated high school in the Philippines, and I moved here in America when I was 19 years old. So I've been here in America for more than half of my life. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you look so young, as I can see. We definitely want to know the secrets later.
So when you come here, was it family?
Yes, my entire family. So
Because
me and my
19,
siblings.
you're so young.
Thank you. Thank you.
So how was it for you leaving when you were 19 years old back home to here? Were you excited? Were you sad that you're leaving your home country? What was your experience like before leaving the Philippines, or like on the last few days or months before you left?
So you know what? I guess with every Filipino teenager or child, there's always this feeling of excitement, because of every time you hear about oh, you're going to America, you think about oh, I'm excited. It's very exciting. You know what I mean? It's parang parang oh, yung snow. You think about snow, think about chocolates, think about Christmas here in America. There's always this feeling of excitement, but also at the same time there's feeling of sadness, because you're gonna leave basically some of your friends, your childhood friends, your family, although, and then just the familiar things in the Philippines. So yeah.
And then when you moved here, which state did you move to?
So we moved to Washington, D.C.
Oh, so
Yeah.
DMV area right away.
Mm-hmm. So Washington, D.C. And actually, I remember when we first came here, it was winter of 1999. And I remember, first time going outside the airport, I was like, oh my God, ang lamig, and I was wearing a hoodie, and it was I think 20 degrees, and it was really, really cold. And I remember the drive from the airport to our uncle's house. I remember seeing all these trees in GW Parkway. I think Ally, you know exactly where that place is. But GW Parkway, if you guys are not familiar with GW Parkway, there's a lot of trees. It's very dark. And for somebody who just came from Manila, you're not used to a lot of trees. I was like, oh my God. And I was like, where am I? Where am I? But I was still excited. But at the same time, I'm like, all right, I'm in a different place right now. What is going on? That kind of feeling.
Did you see snow right away? Because you said it's winter.
Huh?
Did
Sorry,
you see snow right away?
No, actually at that time, I think it snowed, but it melted. So when we got here, there were like a little bit of snow, but still seeing that, I was like, oh my God, snow. So, but it wasn't a lot. It was just like remnants of like 5-inch snow from like a week ago or something like that.
So let's talk about so that's great, like your experience about moving here. And it's so ironic, coming from Manila and not a lot of trees and then moving here with so much trees.
I know.
But anyway, so now you are a freelance actress.
Mhm.
But when you were in the Philippines, did you also do some acting then?
You know what? I did not. But I do remember when I was probably 5 or 6 years old, my mom took me to an audition. I don't remember what was that about, but I remembered my mom took me to an audition. But of course, I didn't get it. I didn't get that. But I think I tried. I think we tried doing Batibot. Do you guys remember
Yes.
that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a childhood, it's a show for children back
It,
home.
It's
I
like the
wanted,
Sesame Street of the Philippines.
yes,
Yes.
exactly. So I remember I wanted to be a part of that, but I guess I wasn't cute enough.
Oh.
but but I remember my brother and then my sister, they were kind of part of that, but I wasn't part of that.
Aw, so you met Kuya Boji and all of those, si Pong Pagong.
No, he did, because it was just like, I think it was like, like the beginning stages, so you're not really gonna meet like, yung um
The big
mga,
actors.
yeah,
Characters
big
there,
actors,
yeah.
yeah. And then after that, that was it. And I think as a child, I was really shy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I wasn't confident. It's like a part of me was like, yeah, I guess I want to do it just because you can express yourself. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't think so. You know what I mean?
But
So,
you
so
shared
when you
earlier that you did pageants.
I did. Oh my God. So I started, oh my goodness. When did I start? So I started when I was 13. Yes, I
did you
started
do
when
pageants in school?
no, actually I did Miss Teen Philippines.
Oh wow!
So
How was
I
that experience for you?
well, you know what? I remember I was 13 years old, and our family friend, kn- he knows Ricky Reyes. I don't know if you guys.
Yeah, yeah, of
Yeah,
course, the famous,
a well-known
it's like the
hairstylist back
Dal
in the
Sassoon of
Philippines.
the Philippines. Oh, di ba?
Yes,
Nag-drop na
yes,
ng names.
yes. So he's friends with Ricky Reyes, and at that time, Ricky Reyes had this Miss Teen. Oh, he was like doing this Miss Teen, in the Philippines. So our friend told me or told my mom, "Why don't you join Miss Teen?" Because I mean, and I was like, I don't think so. It's like in my head, I'm like, maybe I do have the height, but I don't think I have the looks. Because in the Philippines, I think they probably prefer somebody who's like mestiza, and morena. I'm more of morena. So yeah. So finally, they were able to convince me, and I don't think I have the choice at that time. So I was like, all right, fine, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. But then at first, it was really, really terrifying because imagine you're 13 years old. It's like you're 13 years old. It's like I just wanted to to play and stuff like that, but anyway, I was like, all right, they were able to convince me, and I did the pageant. And I remember celebrating my 14th birthday on stage dancing.
Wow! But
It's
so
fun.
after being in the pageant, what was it that you learned from in the pageant? What was your takeaway there?
In the pageant. So
Yes.
like in the pageant, like the first thing that I learned is like you really have to be confident and you really have to believe in yourself. I mean, looking back, I'm actually thankful that I did all that. Like at that time, I wasn't confident, but as soon as I started doing pageants, not that I'm saying that I'm overly confident, but it's like, you know what? You just have to do it. it's like once you go out in the stage, you just have to give it your all, like regardless of like what people will say or something like that, you know.
Wow, so you did more pageants after that. How tall are you? I'm curious since you already mentioned the height earlier.
So I'm 5'7.5".
Oh my God, that's such a nice height, especially in the Philippines. It's a modelic
Especially for
height.
a Filipina, yes.
Oh,
And I can see like I can see like Venus Ra resemblance-ish also. So I think yeah, it must be exciting doing pageants.
it
How
was.
often did you do pageants back then?
So after Miss Teen, I did what do you call this? It's like Miss District 4.
Uh-huh.
That one, I was the title holder.
Oh my gosh! So how was it being a title holder then? Is it because you already learned something from your previous experience and then now you actually had a formula on how to win the pageant? What was your formula then of winning?
Of winning, I think it was like, well, first of all, like, I'm like, you know what? I'm already here. I just have to believe in myself. So that's like the first thing. And then second of all, you really just have to be confident, because it's just gonna, come out. When you're confident, I think you're just gonna shine.
What did it feel like when you won?
When I won, I was, you know what? I was surprised, but at the same time, I was really, really happy. And I think when I won, I was like, did I really win? It's like I couldn't believe it, but at the same time, I was like, you know what? I gave it my all, so maybe I really deserved it to win.
Wow.
Aw, I'm
Okay,
sure you really, really deserved it.
you deserve it. She's very beautiful inside and out. So moving forward, okay, did you bring those dreams with you when you moved here to the US? Or was it something at that time, something that you felt like, you know what, that was it, my experience in the Philippines, and I'm gonna totally have a different life in the US? Did part of you still have that um, dream of becoming a beauty queen again once moving here or pursuing acting?
You know what? When I moved here, I guess I didn't bring, that, thing of like, all right, I'm gonna pursue, like, joining pageants or anything like that. So that one, I think I left that behind in the Philippines. Acting, modeling, I didn't. So when I moved here, it was just like, you know what? I'm already here in America. I'm gonna work. But I guess there was a part of me that wanted to try, but again, I'm like, oh, maybe I'm like, maybe I'm not good enough. Because, there's always that feeling like, maybe I'm not good enough, you know?
So
But
from
it's up to you.
1999, since you moved to the US,
Mhm.
how long did it take you
Mm.
before you started auditioning again?
Oh,
Or, and second question, was there someone who influenced you or discovered you,
mm,
and that's the reason why you did it?
mm.
Or was it because you suddenly just felt like you had to do it? So when was that turning point?
When was that turning point? So I think, when I was in my 20s, there was actually an opportunity for me to do modeling. But I remember when that happened, it was raining and I had to go to work. So I told myself, I'm like, all right, I don't think I'm gonna, it was an audition. So to me, I was like, I don't think I'm gonna make it anyway. I was like, it's a waste of time. I'm like, if I spend this money to go to an audition, I'm like, I don't think I have that money to go to the audition and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna do it. So I kind of just like,
What happened to everything you learned from doing the pageants in the Philippines?
I know. It was like, because, growing up, I wasn't really like confident. There's always a part of me that's kind of like, I don't think I'm good enough. That's kind of like a part of, like a part of me, like growing up. But of course now, and I guess now going to that part of like, why did I get into acting or like modeling, like, in this stage of my life. So anyway, that happened in my early 20s. And then a year ago, I had another opportunity. So like the opportunity knocked again. So they called me and they said, hey, we needed somebody to like act as a background, right? I didn't have to audition, but it was like, it was somebody from LA and who contacted somebody that I know. And this somebody that I know contacted me. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. So, and that's how it all started.
Like that's how you
Wow.
found your love in acting again.
Yes, yes, yes.
I actually believe in the saying, like my mom actually would always tell us, if it's for you,
Yes.
it will find you.
Yes. And I remember
And
your story, Ally. So
oh,
yeah.
oh my gosh. So tell us that moment when you were there on the first day of you doing your background work as an actress. How was that feeling?
So that feeling, I remember, I was a little bit like kind of skeptical because I was like, all right, is this legit? Because I remember I didn't get all the information until 11 o'clock p.m. the night before the shoot. So I was like, is this legit? I was like, am I being set up? And I was like, why are they only giving me all this information at like 11 o'clock, like the night before? So finally I got all the information and stuff like that. And I was like, all right, I'm just going to do it. So I went and I remember driving in the parking lot and I'm like, all right, this is it. I'm like, I guess this is legit because I saw like a big truck with like cameras, lighting and everything. And I said, all right. And I started getting all excited because I was like, oh my God, this is like the first ever acting gig in America. And you know, like that excitement. I was like, I know I wasn't the star. I was just doing a background work, but I'm like, it's acting. It's acting.
Did you
You
And you're
know?
part of
get
it.
like flashbacks
Exactly.
from all your Philippine experiences?
Yes, yes. And I was like, you know what? This is actually exciting. And you know what? I just went with it. And I remember I was in a trailer, you know, with like a bunch of other actors. And it was very, you know, it was a very, very good experience. I remember that. Very, very good experience. And that was with Medicare, Medicaid. It was a commercial with
So
Medicare, Medicaid.
so was that the turning point that you knew then that this is something you wanted to do again?
Yes, yes. And I think, you know what, after that, I think I was like, you know what, this is really cool. And I remember I was like, there's got to be a reason why this opportunity presented itself. You know, it's kind of like, here, do it.
Mhm.
So after that, I think I felt like it's meant to be. Because like that day, I remembered, I met a bunch of like actors, you know, actresses. And I remember they were giving me all like pointers and stuff like that. And they're like, you got to do this, you got to do that. And after that, you know what? I started doing all of that. And here I am.
And I'm so happy for you that you've done so many projects already,
Thank
and that's something for us to be proud of as, Filipino Americans,
you.
as an immigrant to the United States. You're basically living the dream that a lot of people would dream of,
Mhm.
once moving here.
Mhm.
So what is it like
Mhm.
being a Filipino American and an immigrant in the acting scene? What for you are the pros, and
Mhm.
what do you think are some of the cons of being a Filipino American actress?
Mhm. Well, you know, first of all, I always, you know, say this that sometimes like being a Filipino, sometimes it's a blessing, sometimes it's not in the acting world. And I say that is because, you know, you really don't see, you know, a lot of like, you know, Filipinos, you know, like in the acting community. And sometimes I say it's a blessing because sometimes when like the acting, like or like the casting director sees you and they're like, she looks different. And you know what? Sometimes being different is a good thing and they'll cast you. But sometimes though, being like a Filipino, sometimes it has like, you know, it's like a down part because even though you're Asian, you're like part of like that, you know, you're Asian, but sometimes they're really not looking for that Filipino look. You know what I mean? Like sometimes they're looking for something else. So minsan parang hindi okay, you know? Like parang it's not, like look
It
na,
really depends on what they're looking for. So
yeah,
it's not about you, it's about the look that they want.
So it's
yeah,
being like stereotypical. Yeah.
yeah,
So
Would you say the industry there in DC is big?
you know what, well, of course, it's not as big as LA, but and I remembered, I think they said that the reason why there's not a lot of like movies being shot like here in the DC area, I think it's because of like permit that they have to get or
Mhm.
something like that. It's like really tough to get like permits here in DC. So yeah, it's not as big as LA, but there's like, few projects here and there.
But there's like communities, like for the actors and actresses, it sounds like, because you met a lot.
Yeah, there is a community, yeah. And some of like the actors that I know, like here in the DMV, they actually do work in like New York, Pennsylvania, and stuff like that. So,
Have you ever thought about moving to New York City or Hollywood for acting?
um, you know what? I thought about moving to New York when I was younger, but right now I think I'm happy where I'm at. So that's actually, yeah, not,
What makes you happy where you're at?
oh, where I'm at. Well, right now, I think, family. I'm not saying I think it's family. It's family.
Yeah.
I'm
so
happy.
Tell us about your family.
so yeah, so tell us about your family. Tell us who inspires you the most.
Oh, so of course, like my son inspires me the most. He's like my biggest fan. He is
Oh,
my biggest fan. Yeah. Every time like he sees like commercials, clips here and there, he's like, "Oh my God, mom!" You know.
like he saw you
Oh,
on TV?
Hmm.
He saw you on TV?
Like on the internet, and then like I think the first one that he saw was with I think with Kaiser Permanente. So he saw that, he's like, "Oh my God, mommy!" So
Oh,
yeah.
would you push him to try the entertainment industry?
I think if he wants to, he can. He actually tried with Kaiser. I haven't seen that. I don't know. I think they're still, like I think pre-production, but he did try and he liked it. And I don't know. I mean, if he likes it, then that's fine.
Wow, it runs in the blood.
I
so
guess.
tell us so tell us something about you and your son. So what is it really special about you and Jaden? And what would you advise those people who basically have pursued their dreams and who still want to pursue acting as well?
Oh, so with my son, like, we're really, really close. We're really, really close. He's a mama's boy. And like they say, like sons, they're really, really close to their mother. I mean, I really do have a special relationship with my son.
Do
I
you
always say
teach him Tagalog and Filipino values?
oh yeah. So I try. So my son, he can't speak Tagalog. He knows some words and phrases, but he can't, he can't communicate to me in Tagalog, but he can understand. And I
Does
try.
he
Mhm.
does he say opo or po?
Yeah, he says opo. So
That's so
opo.
cute. At least he knows that.
Yeah, I actually me and him when we were upstairs, I told him, I said, Jaden, instead of saying yes, just say opo. Why? He's like, why? I said that's to show respect, in Filipino. And he's like,
Oh.
okay, okay, mommy.
So if you're gonna give like moms in the US that are Filipino who wants to teach their kids a little bit of Filipino values, what are the easy ones that you can tell them, or that you've done, or that you've tried?
That I tried. So like with the Filipino values, I always, tell my son that, you have to be, respectful to your elders, like the way you talk. And we, taught him how to like do mano,
Ah,
bless.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
sometimes he does that. When he sees like, like the older Filipinos, like he does like mano. So he knows that. He knows that.
that's
He
so
knows that.
cute.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cute. Um, so what advice do you have for those people, especially like, you know, Asian Americans or Filipino Americans who would like to pursue acting as well but are scared?
Oh, but are scared. You know, I mean, until now, I'm still scared. You know what I mean? But I think when you really have, if it's really your passion, if it's really your dream, like you just gotta have to do it. I know it sounds cliche, but you just have to do it. And you just have to believe in yourself. And you always have to think that there's always, I always have this thinking like, somebody's going to be a lot taller than me, well versed and a lot more talented than me. But guess what? I'm just going to show up. I'm just going to do it. You know what I mean? So, and I just, sometimes you just have to believe in yourself. You really just have to believe in yourself, because if you don't, like, casting directors and other people, when you're auditioning, they're going to see that, they're going to feel that vibe. As soon as you walk in there, you're not confident, and when you don't believe in yourself, they can sense that. So you just have to walk in there and you just got to own it. You know what I mean? Yep.
Well, the moment I met you, Ate Catherine, you know what? I was so inspired by you because you were so confident, you were so beautiful inside and out, and we're just so honored to have you here. And my other question would be, so what's your message to your family, especially this holiday season?
To my family in the Philippines and in abroad, I just wanted to say that I love you all so much, and you inspire me every day. And to my family in the Philippines, I wish I can spend this Christmas with you all, but since we're not, I'm there in spirit. So, yeah.
Wow, so much wisdom from Ate Catherine.
I do have a lot of things to tell them, but you know what? We don't have time. But I just want to tell them, the most important thing, I want to tell them that I love them. And they really do inspire me, and I do get a lot of support from my family.
What do you miss about having Christmas in the Philippines?
Ay, puto bongbong and bibingka.
I know, right? That's definitely a tradition, like those delicacies that we have.
So usually puto bongbong and bibingka, they serve it at the simbang gabi, which is the night mass in the Philippines. Did you ever complete a simbang gabi?
Yes, I did. I'm sorry, you guys. So
okay, let's roll back.
Sorry, you guys. Okay. Sorry.
Let's roll back. Tatanong ko ulit yung question. Did you ever complete a simbang gabi?
I actually did. I did when I was younger. Yeah, I did. So yeah, I did. I think maybe like 4 or 5 times.
Wow.
I think so, yeah.
What's the mechanics of it? It's how many days or how many nights, I guess.
So you know what? I forgot. So I think you have to. So it starts on the 16th. My fellow Filipinos, please don't kill me. But I think it starts on the 16th. I think it starts on the 16th, and it usually starts at like, I think 5 o'clock in the morning. 5 o'clock in the morning. So it's when it's still dark, yeah. And then like you get up, and I remember I think I would get up at like 4 o'clock, 4:30. Then I get dressed up. Then I'll dress up, and then like and then you run to like the church, because the church like in the Philippines, like where we live, it was not that far. It was actually walking distance. So.
Oh, that's nice. I miss that. I miss like being able to go to church any time of the day. Like it's always open. Like here, it seems like it's Sundays that it's open. Of course, and now during the pandemic, it's not.
Yeah.
Would you also say that Christmas in the Philippines is the best Christmas?
You know what? I would say wherever my family is, that's where like, the best Christmas is. So, I mean, of course it's different where you're in the Philippines, because, there's so many like traditions and stuff like that, but there's no Christmas like the Christmas in the Philippines. I just want to say that.
That's now I see why you want that crown.
Same concept. So my alarm already went off earlier, but I want to ask one more question, and maybe Ali has one question also after. But how important is it for you to keep a day job while pursuing acting?
So to me, it is
or
very,
vice versa, to
or vice versa.
keep pursuing acting even though you have a career? So
So to me, like it is important for me to keep my 9 to 5 job, especially like during this time. So I haven't been getting as much like projects where I could just, like walk away from my 9 to 5 job. Right now, I do need it because, like you have the, insurance. I do have my son. So it is really, really important for me to keep that. But maybe when projects starts to come in and stuff like that, and I'm in the position to give up my 9 to 5, then you know what, I would do it. I mean, acting is really fun. It is really fun. It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun.
I see acting as a second job. So if it goes well, then you can leave the first job.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yep. If it goes well, I'm like, all right. I mean, I love my 9 to 5, but you know what? Yeah.
Your heart is in acting at this time.
Yes. I mean, I do love acting. I really do. I really do.
Ali.
My other question is, my final question for tonight for Ate Catherine.
For the top three,
I've been,
for the win.
For the
I've
win,
been,
like I feel
I've
like
been
the top.
blessed. I've been blessed to have met you on my birthday last
Oh
year,
my God. Yes.
together with, of course, Miss Nikki Despi, as
Yes.
well as Ate Marie Sesley.
Mm-hmm.
What advice or what message can you give Nikki and Ate Marie, or
Advice.
message or anything, or message, not advice, or whatever it is, like, or
Like
in
message.
general?
Well, of course, like I wanted to tell them that, thank you for their friendship. I've known them for a lot of years now, and I feel blessed to be, to have known them. And actually, Nikki and Marie are like, one of those friends that parang trusted friends talaga sila. Trusted talaga. So, you know what, yeah. So when I'm
Sorry, I have a follow-up question. How important is it to have a Filipino group of friends?
Oh, it is very, very important. You know what? Like I do value like my non-Filipino friends, and they're really, really important to me. But I do value like my Filipino friends as well. And it's really important to have like, Filipino friends because you share the same values, like beliefs and stuff like that. And there are times when, there are stuff that they could just understand, like, my Filipino friends. So
You're like, yeah, you got it.
very importante, very importante. you know.
Oh, well,
Mm-mm.
I'm getting so emotional. Well, thank you for those beautiful message, and I've learned so much. Like, definitely our episode is like full of love, and
Yeah.
of course, as a tradition, and of course, it's very evident that we definitely need to learn this from you.
Mhm.
Before we end the show, we always ask 3 questions
Sure.
from our guests. A tip that you can give us for beauty,
Mm-hmm.
self-care, and health. So
And
what
how?
are your tips for beauty, self-care, and health?
So for beauty, I would say always get 8 hours of sleep. That is really, really important. When you have your 8 hours of sleep, you can conquer the entire world.
Oh, and self-care.
For self care, do your exercise. Just start moving. It helps. Like it helps when when you start your day. Just like a simple movement and stuff like that. It doesn't have to be like, like hardcore, like cardio and stuff like that. I mean, if you just get out of the, bed, do some stretching and stuff like that, you know what? That just sets the mood. I mean, for me, yeah.
And for health.
For health, drink water. Yeah. As simple as that. I know it sounds very, very simple, and then, but you know what? Yeah, drink water. Really do drink
I
water.
love your answers. All three answers actually apply to all three: beauty,
Yes, yes.
health,
Uh-huh.
and self.
Mhm. So I know, like every,
It's amazing. I love it.
but like like I always like this is like the three things that I really that's really, really important to me for like self-care, like health, beauty, and stuff like that. Of course, water, like 8 hours of sleep, and just like movement, exercise.
Any last message and anything you want to promote?
Well, promote. Well, I don't have anything to promote, but I guess Merry Christmas to everyone because it's December, and yeah, that's it. And message. What message do I have? Well,
Favorite quote. Favorite quote.
oh, favorite quote. Oh my God, it's not like exactly, but the Paulo Coelho quote. That's like my favorite. Like if you really, really want, something, all the universe will conspire.
Ah,
Diba?
I love that.
and you are the new Miss Universe.
Ay.
Ali, any last words and anything you want to promote?
Well, thank you so much, Ate Catherine. I mean, more than anything, we're so honored to have you. Your grace, your beauty, your wit, but more so your beautiful heart. I mean, thank you so much for being here with us and celebrating the holidays with us. We feel so blessed. And of course, to everyone who hasn't checked my YouTube channel yet, it's AllyCat Castle. Now I'm just focusing on makeup on my YouTube channel. So I have 1-minute makeup tutorials, and I also have funny makeup reviews. So if you want to learn about makeup and just want to laugh about it, please come and visit AllyCat Castle. Back to you, Angel.
Yes, thank you so much for being here, Ate Catherine, for inspiring us with your beautiful self, your beautiful Christmas tree, your beautiful story and life. It's perfect for the holiday season. It's all about love and dreams. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. I'm Angel Qinan, and you are watching Sisters Like Angel and Ally. Please like, comment, subscribe. And feel free to comment anything or reach out to us if you want a specific topic that you want us to cover. Please keep watching our 1-minute short clips. Meanwhile, in Los Angeles, California, with me and Ali, meanwhile, in Washington, D.C. Yeah, diba? So thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. Did you have anything to add? I think.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, because I didn't say this, but I just wanted to say thank you, Angel and Ally, for having me. It's an honor. It's really, really an honor. And you both inspire me. Ally, your story, Angel, your story. So thank you so much. Thank you.
And you inspire me. That's why I asked you to be here with us.
And you inspire us. And everybody was watching. That's why we keep doing this, because we inspire each other. We should surround ourselves with people who inspire.
Thank you. And thank you so much for spreading positivity, not only, to everyone, but as well, but also to the Filipino community. So thank you so much. I love watching your videos. So thank you so much. Continue doing what you do.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, bye, everyone. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank
Happy
you.
holidays.
Happy
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.